Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. Whoa! You look great. I really like how you did your hair today. You're welcome. Anyways, are you ready to go? Awesome. Come on. I figured we could drive over. A few of our classmates should be meeting us there too. Oh, let me open the door for you. Alrighty then, off we go. Huh? Where are we going? Oh, did Todoroki not tell you? They opened up this new restaurant recently, and I heard that its design is based off of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I've been watching gameplays of it for so long, despite how scary they are, so I was really excited when he asked if we should all go today. I've got a whole notebook full of theories and the lore. But you probably know all about that stuff, huh? What? But it's one of the best horror games in our generation! How have you never even heard of it? Well then, I suppose this means I'll have to get you up to speed. Of course I have to. I can't just take you to this place and have you not know anything. Plus, we have plenty of time before we get there. I'm sure I can cover at least a couple of the games. I should probably start an order, huh? So, in the first game, you're playing a security guard who's working the night shift at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. The place is very well known for their animatronics, which are huge robots that look like animals. There are 5 total animatronics, but only 4 of them regularly show up in the game. We've got Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie the Bunny, Chica the Chicken, and Foxy the Pirate. The last one is Golden Freddy, who is a secret animatronic that shows up randomly from time to time. These animatronics come to life at night and try to kill the security guard. Your goal is to survive until 6 a.m., and each night is harder than the last. Each night you get a bit of tutorial and lore from the phone guy, who left you tapes as he was the last security officer before you. Oh, fun fact! The guy who voiced Phone Guy is actually the guy who made the game, Scott Cawthon. It's a really interesting fact that I don't think a lot of people know. On the 4th night, though, you can hear pounding on the doors in the tapes. He mentions that he might not be around for much longer, and then it plays the jump scare noise along with Freddy's music. That music only plays when the power goes out, which automatically leaves the doors open and is almost always a game over. So the general consensus is that the phone guy got caught and was stuffed into one of the suits. How do I know that? Well, he mentions in one of the calls his theories as to why the animatronics are trying to get him. Said they were never given a proper night mode, and so they try to go where the people are, and the security guard is the only one in the building. But they don't see us as people in that state, rather an endoskeleton without its costume on. So then they try to stuff us in a suit, which is full of wires and stuff that pretty much means instant death. The phone guy also mentioned something called the Bite of 87, which we learn about later. However, there's more to it than that. A long time ago, there was a security guard named William Afton who would lead kids into the back room while wearing one of the suits. Apparently they used to be able to be worn, but not anymore. Anyways, he murdered about 5 kids in the back room while wearing the Golden Freddy suit. Because of this, the souls of the children he killed actually possess the animatronics, which is why they go after the security guards. Huh? Well, of course it's dark. It's a horror game after all. Honestly, I don't know why anyone would want to stay 5 nights at a place like that. If it were me, I would have left after the first night and never came back. I mean, I know I could have probably fought them off, but I still wouldn't want to be in that situation. It's almost assumed that the security guard is quirkless, so it wouldn't be smart to keep working there. It's hard enough in our society for people like that. Hey, are you okay? For a second, I thought your eyes were... Never mind. It's probably just my imagination. Anyways, where was I? Oh, right! Now we have the second game. This is technically the prequel to the first one, taking place in the year 1987. I know the timeline doesn't make that much sense. It's kind of like Star Wars in that way. Again, you're a security guard, but the original animatronics are all broken and missing pieces of themselves. Now, there are toy versions of the original animatronics, aside from Golden Freddy and Foxy. Oh, and there are also 3 new characters called Balloon Boy, Mangle, and the Puppet, leaving the grand total of animatronics to 11. Which is a lot for anyone to deal with. Remember how I mentioned the old animatronics? That's kind of weird for a prequel, right? Well, it's speculated that after the toy versions had issues, the company decided to just remodel and improve the original ones. Anyways, the phone guy comes back in this one, but he doesn't sound like he dies in any of the calls, so it's assumed that it's the guy from the first game. In his first call, he mentions that a lot of people have a negative impression of the company due to something that happened at the old location, even emphasizing that the company prioritizes safety above all else. Pretty suspicious, right? That's what I thought too. Unfortunately, we don't get much lore until the later nights, especially in the 6th one. Hey, are you sure you're alright? You looked like you were spacing out a bit. Alright, if you say so. Anyways, remember when I mentioned the Bite of 87? That actually happened between the 4th and 5th nights, which I have a few theories about. According to the first game, the incident involved an animatronic attacking a child from the main stage area, who had taken damage to their frontal lobe, which is located in the brain. They survived the ordeal, but the animatronic in question hasn't been confirmed. My first theory is that Foxy is the one who caused it. In the first one, Foxy's area has a sign that says out of order, and his jaw is actually loose as if it was broken by something pretty strong. However, he is one of the withered animatronics in the first game, so he was most likely nowhere near the public when the incident took place. Another suspect was Freddy Fazbear, but this is more of a fan theory than my own. The main reason for it is that in the first game, the rules that were posted on the wall said, "Don't touch Freddy." The rule could have been put in place after the bite, but I don't think that's the case since Freddy is the main attraction, and he pretty much represents all of them. The other reason was that his mask had handprints on them in the first game, implying that someone must have been struggling against him. But again, the phone guy was attacked by Freddy on the fourth night in the last game. So, it was probably just him trying to defend himself. Also, it's implied that he has two heads, since the one in the second game is very different from the first one. My last theory is that Mangle was the one who caused the bite, which is essentially like the toy version of Foxy, but different. Mangle was originally a normal animatronic like the others, but the kids couldn't keep their hands to themselves, so the company eventually left him as a take-apart, put-back-together attraction. Considering this was an attack on a child, then this provides a plausible motive. He also swings down from the ceiling in his jump scare, aiming right for where the frontal lobe would be located. It's mentioned that the toy animatronics also get scrapped, which wouldn't have happened if it was one of the other two that caused the bite. If it were one of them, they would have been permanently retired and the toy ones would have stayed in service. He's the only one of the three suspects that would have actually been out and interacting with guests, since Withered Freddy and Withered Foxy both would have been most likely locked up in the parts and service room. I hope the creator confirms who did it when he makes the final game. I honestly thought that Pizzeria Simulator was going to be the last one, but then Security Breach came out and now I'm not so sure. I think the place we're going to is based on the first two anyways, since the other games have a few different settings. Honestly, I think my least favorite is Sister Location in terms of actual gameplay. I like the lore for it and everything, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a fan of how it progressed. Instead of simply having to last until 6 AM, you have to complete tasks, like in the game Among Us. Well, for the most part anyway. I'm pretty sure the rest of the games after the fourth one are like that, it's just that the other ones were a bit more challenging for me. What's the fifth game about? Well, essentially, you're making sure the animatronics are in working order, so maintenance stuff. Are any of them possessed? Oh, like they were in the first game. Yeah, actually. Circus Baby is the main attraction of the sister location, but she was possessed by a little girl who was killed by the same animatronic. I believe Springtrap technically is as well, since William Afton actually died while trying to hide from the spirits of the dead children in the suit. The spring lock mechanism shut tight on him and killed him. Huh? Yeah, he does sound like a bad dad. Wait, you told me you didn't know any of the lore. Then how did you know he was a father? No, I didn't mention it earlier. You're acting awfully strange today. I knew I blew it off before, but I could have sworn I saw your eyes turn pink. You're not... Who are you? And what have you done with my friend?